Alright everybody, we are back for game number 2 of DarkSided v Noxide. DarkSided taking out game number 1, and I think it's fair to say it was pretty domineering fashion.
Yeah, it was a bit of a stomp, only the one kill, and it really fell the way of the Phoenix for Noxide, unfortunately, and we'll see if they're able to kind of draft their way back into this. It did seem to be a big disparity, not just in playstyle, but in the drafting phase. Didn't seem like the strongest of drafts, tried something janky, didn't work out. Let's see if they go for something a bit more traditional. So far, they've just banned away the Camazots here, just DarkSide, and Kokolin are a bit of a respect band here from Noxide.
Yeah, they saw what Liquid Renegade was able to do on that in the jungle last time, did not want him on that again. Noxide, we'll have to see if they pick up the Hunbats in this game. We're talking last game, Moose, about the effectiveness of Strive when he's been on that guard. We can see they ban away the Kronos as well, which they played last game.
Yeah, not wanting to give that up, but doing that, they allow Audio through, and
immediately lost it.
Just do not want to deal with an Audio, and Terra's the response. I mean, you try and lock down the bear with some walls, but can you really cage this bear? It's going to be interesting to see.
Bear does not care about walls, Moose. The bear does not care about walls. You should know about bears. Bears climb. Bears can climb trees, therefore they can climb walls. See, the Hornbat's actually locked in for DarkSided here, so taking that one away from Noxide. So already, I'm really liking this draft out of DarkSide, especially with the song pick for Yada in the mid lane. We see on the side of Noxide, Terra, Thoth, and Sun Wukong. You know, there's a fair bit of setup there for the Thoth, so they're really going to be relying on kind of a wombo combo to win them these fights.
Yeah, but how do they get that off when there's a Fear No Evil on the other side? I mean, you're just going to get pushed and pulled around. It's going to be so hard to hit, especially with the Thoth. You get, you know, feared away and you reset your ultimate. It's just going to be so hard to lock anyone down. As we see the second lot of bans, Thor and Rama for DarkSided, and Erling Shen Hu Yi for Noxide. Erling taken away again, another warrior off the table. Could we see this Audio go solo even?
I would expect it to, given Shank's kind of playstyle, and I think Beast would probably be more comfortable on a Guardian. Sorry, I just said Audio is a Guardian. I think he'd be more happy with kind of one of his traditional Guardians, like one of the ones that he likes to play, like the Sobek, like a Geb. I don't know how much experience he'd have on the Audio, whereas I feel like Shank's a little bit more flexible, considering he's been playing solo a little bit longer than Beast has been playing support. We can see here the Sobek locked in, so I doubt it's more likely we're going to see Audio solo than we are going to see solo Beck. On the converse side of it, we see Split Push picking up the guard that gave him his namesake, Apollo.
Yeah, and I look at Noxide's team comp, and if you had the Hunbats on their side, it just screams comfort picks for all of the players there. Yeah. Looking to get onto something a bit more comfortable, get away from this jank, and just go for something that they know the ins and out of every, you know, single step of the god. And it's... maybe it works out for them, but, you know, as you said, Strive not on the Monkey. We'll see what he picks up as his second component. It's going to be the Mercury. That is interesting, risky to say the least.
Yeah, especially with the Audio, with all those roots and cripples and all those other nasty things. It's a Sobek as well with the pluck.
Knock up from the tail whip as
Yeah,
well.
it's a risky pick, but, you know, I like it. You know, you got to risk it for the biscuit. You just got to pull out something unexpected. And, you know, the benefit of the Mercury is that he can just punch someone like a Kernos or a Homebats to death very, very quickly, or Soul even before Soul can get the Zap rate off if he goes down the path, or the crit path, and if he gets enough gold early. But that's a big if. It's a big, big if.
Yeah, shoutouts to Fired up there. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend it. Yeah, it's going to come down to this Mercury and how effective he can be, especially in the early game, as you mentioned. If he's able to get ahead, it can be very scary. But, you know, if I'm a Hunbats, I'm just not letting Mercury having any jungle whatsoever.
Yeah, you just absolutely have to keep that god behind. We've seen what he can do, even a bit ahead. Man, if you let a Mercury get ahead, that is your entire day ruined right there.
Yeah, there's too many animals on the side of DarkSided. It's just going to be terrifying to be anywhere in this jungle for Noxide.
Yeah, that's right. 4 out of the 5 are animals of some kind. Well, thanks, like an animal and a half, I suppose, with like the transformation. Yada's a star, so that doesn't count as an animal. But still, looking now, we can see it is going to be this Sobek support and the Audio solo. So, I mean, I think given the Mercury pick as well, it would make sense for the Audio to go on that side of the map if they were even debating it before. So this will be, I think this is the first time we're seeing Audio in competitive in OCE, unless we saw her last week.
No, I think this is the first time we'll see her, and we'll see how Shank runs her in the solo.
Probably be the last time until she gets nerfed.
Yeah, I would say so. I can't imagine anyone else letting Audio through. Unless it's a massive, BM, yeah, you can take the bear and we'll still beat you kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah. Look at Shank. It was sitting there waving towards Abs Pro. Mid lane, look at Renegade going in very aggressively here early, taking a lot of minion poke here, but getting a lot of pressure for DarkSided in this mid lane. And that is the thing about this Thoth Mercury combination. Not a whole lot of clear, not a whole lot of pressure at the start of the game, and that really leaves them susceptible to jungle invades, which we're seeing right now from Yada and Liquid Renegade. It's taking the small creeps away from the speed buff, and they're going to head over to the blue buff and take it away with Shank.
Yeah, nice 3-man split here, get some early pressure. The response out of Noxide is to take the left side mid camps. But I think DarkSide will get the better of this exchange. They should be able to get the speed buff now as well, or 3-man split that as a second lot of camps there go their way. Noxide and Endless looks like they're going to rotate to the red buff, but they're going to find a Beast and an Agony there waiting for them.
Good to see how they take this fight if they choose to take it. In the end, Endless has the opportunity to potentially steal with his Glyph of Pain and Hieroglyphic Assault, but I think he recognizes it's going to take too much time and he'll leave himself open to a gank from Yada and from Liquid Renegade. But yeah, as you said, the trades there really go in favor of DarkSide. All Noxide got were left-hand side mid camps. Their speed buff and their blue buff would take it away. They didn't manage to take the enemy red buff. They didn't manage to take the enemy speed buff away. And now on the right-hand side, Abspro is taking a lot of damage. Will Oxform to get away and avoid getting first blooded. However, Noxide, they will go ahead and pick up these Oracle Harpies, so at least one thing goes in their favor.
Yeah, at least they're finding some kind of advantage on one side of the map, although it's kind of negligible at this point, and the Mercury has no farm, doesn't have a speed buff available, and when you're Mercury, all you really want, more than any other jungler, every jungler wants their speed buff, but Mercury especially just wants it so badly. The passive just builds up even faster for him and just allows him to be so much more effective in the early game.
And that's why I'm so glad DarkSide went for that speed buff, or right-hand side of the map invade so early on, rather than looking to potentially get a kill in the mid lane or look to secure the mid camps. They recognize how much the Mercury relies on that speed buff, and they take it away from him, and they keep their own one as well. So there's just no potential for Strive to get that speed buff, and that also inhibits his farm as well. Mercury is a faster character, but if you don't have a speed buff and the enemy jungler does, you're just not going to get to camps as fast. You're not even going to be able to rotate in response to ganks as fast as the enemy jungler is either. So it's going to be a rough few minutes here for Strive.
Yeah, and Shank taking the fight here to Absro yet again. He actually 2v1'd the Mercury and the Sun Wukong for... They took half of their health each, and Shank took about 20 damage. That's the strength of the bear right now, and just so hard to gank and so hard to lock down and really do anything to in the early game. And moving into the late game becomes just even worse.
Yeah, you do not want to mess with the bear. The bear will farm you. The bear will tear you apart. Everyone's seen Revenant. You said what a bear did to Leonardo DiCaprio. Imagine what a bear's going to do to Sun Wukong. It's just nasty.
It is a terrifying thought. That
yeah.
was a fantastic movie also. You got all the movie references today. I'm liking it.
Yeah, I've been on a bit of a Netflix binge lately. Because it's my way of procrastinating instead of doing assignments.
Yeah, no, assignments aren't important. Netflix is very, very important.
Yeah, new season of BoJack, gotta watch that, Oh look, and now it's suddenly 2 AM, I can't do any work today.
Oh, it's terrible.
I know, it's a hard life, Moose, it's a hard life, but someone's gotta do it.
Sounds rough, man.
Yeah, well what also sounds rough and looks rough is Noxide's jungle getting invaded again by a 4-man grouping here of DarkSided. They have not wanted to be separated here today. Constantly rotating in groups of 2s and 4s and just keeping Noxide away from, buffs, from neutral camps, from objectives. And you said in the last game, Noxide typically are a really good team fighting team due to the chemistry they built up after being together for a decently long period of time compared to some of these other teams, especially compared to DarkSided. But just today, it just seems like there's no synergy, there's no chemistry there.
Yeah, and I think maybe it comes down to the focus that Strive and Absro have felt on their side of the map. Usually they're kind of the driving force behind the team, especially Strive. If he gets a lead, he really knows how to run with it, but DarkSided are able to put him behind and say, hey, let's see how you do from behind, and so far he's kind of coming up short, and it's really affecting the entirety of his team.
Oh, and there's also, you know, let's see how you do on someone not on butts, and I mean, he's put himself kind of into that position as well. And I know when games is, I know you want to kind of try and prove that you're not just a one-trick, one-god kind of player, but you know, when wins are so important, so hard to come by in such a short season, you just got to do what it takes to win, man, and then work on it some other time. When these are the games that count, you know, you got to put everything on the line here.
Yeah, exactly. If they were able to get the right results today and other results went their way, they could potentially have been going to land themselves. So, a huge game, and as you said, this is the time to, sure, maybe pick up some jank here and there and see if you can cheese a win, but I would have really liked to see the first game, they draft that Morrigan Hunbutts early and just roll with it. That's worked so well for them, and now in the second game, you know, they weren't even given the opportunity. DarkSided would say, well, we gave you the chance to play Hunbutts and you didn't take it, and now we're going to just make sure you don't get the second opportunity to do it in this game.
Yeah, and also we have audio, so deal with that.
Yeah, that was, I think that was Noxide forgetting to ban audio.
Yeah, forgetting she was in the game.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I don't know how you do that. It's a big frickin' bear.
Yeah, but I think everyone's first round ban phase is audio banned? No, okay, we're banning audio.
Alrighty, no Gold Furies taken yet in this one, and really kind of been minimal focus over on that area of the map. It is only 6.5 minutes in, but we did see DarkSided attempt a few early Gold Furies in the last one. In terms of the graphs, you know, a little bit of a lead here for DarkSided, especially in the experience department. This is the most telling lead here. It's about 2,000. Looking towards the mid lane here, Strive was charging his ultimate. Looking down for Liquid Renegade, who's very close to the Noxide towers. Strive going to be plucked back in. There's the Fear No Evil, and Strive in a hell of a situation here as Yard is going to pick him up. Split push coming in across the skies, but not going to be able to find a kill. Shank just zoning away 3 people on the bear. Can he find Destinate for the kill? He can't. And Split push gets a great mesmerize off, but Shank, 1v3 on the bear, completely won that fight for his team.
Yeah, Split Push did his best to come over and really affect that fight, but it was just a massive Fear No Evil. Great turnaround there from Liquid Renegade, really showing that he too can play this monkey to great effect. A nice ultimate out of Endless, trying to return as much damage as he possibly could, but just not enough to turn things around there for Noxide. And DarkSided yet again looking the stronger of these two teams. Endless gets caught out.
Oh, the late beats as well.
Yeah, Supernova picks that one up.
Oh, Strive coming in there with the Mercury ultimate. Can he find Yada? Destinate will claim the kill, but still, it's a kill for Noxide about 20 minutes earlier than we saw their first kill in the last game. However, they're in a bit of a rough spot now. Abs Pro trying to get out. Will with the Oxform, Beast dashes forward, but unable to claim the kill. Speed buff was taken away by DarkSided as well, I believe. No, actually, Noxide secured that, so Strive gets a speed buff. You know, things are looking positive now for Noxide.
The Mercury Dream,
relatively speaking.
It just feels so... even if you're 2 levels behind, getting your first speed buff as Mercury is just... At 8 minutes, it sucks, but it's also a relieving feeling, and working towards what looks like it'll probably be a Stone Cutting Sword, I imagine, which is a high-cost item, especially when you're behind.
Yeah.
Maybe even a Mass Immune. I wouldn't mind seeing a Mass Immune, just because it's cheaper and it provides him a bit more sustainability in these fights. And it's a decent power spike as well.
I mean, with a Stone Cutting Sword, though, it means he can kind of take the fight a little bit more effective to audio and stand up to her a little bit better. But even still, what's more important, I think, with this Mercury is the ability to hit your ultimates. They can be absolutely fight turning, and that's really what won Noxide that fight, was the huge ultimate out of Strive. See Gold Fury now being started up, very risky call here. DarkSide is coming in. Final Judgment out of Endless will secure the Gold Fury for the side of Noxide, but Liquid Renegade, great Sacred Monkey, gets in and gets a 2-man ultimate. He's looking for Endless now. Terrace Blessing comes out. It's good stun, or good walls there from Destiny. Didn't even need to land the stun to get Liquid Renegade away, and now Noxide have got themselves the Gold Fury, and the graphs are not as unkind to them as they once were.
Yeah, and this looks more like the Noxide that we've been used to in previous weeks. They're on some comfort picks, and Strive and the rest of the players, they're able to make the aggressive call. They might take a tier 1 in return, though. They'll leave that one for now, but this is what I want to see from Noxide. They're making these aggressive calls. They're behind, but they're not afraid to take the fights when they're in their favor.
Alrighty, mid lane, Yada going to take some damage here, but he'll be able to back away relatively okay. We've only got a 2-to-1 kill game as we head towards the 10-minute mark. First Gold Fury, as we just called, went the way of Noxide, but overall, this has been very much still a DarkSided-centric game. They've been definitely setting the pace in this one and forcing Noxide to respond to them. Just a little bit of an overextension at the enemy speed buff was all it took for Noxide to get back into the game, though.
Yeah, and that's what DarkSided need to be careful of. They don't want to, as Endless gets plucked here by the Beast. Should be able to dash away reasonably safely, does so for now. The stun land will just clear up some minions for now, but the Liquid Renegade caught between a couple of players here from Noxide, also able to get away. Just takes a bit of free poke.
This is overhand smash, so deals some damage to Destinate. Destinate needs to be careful here. Unable to be plucked back due to that passive on Terra. There is the lurking, the water's coming out of Beast. Shank trying to chase down Aspro here. Beast ultimate wasted on nothing, but it looks like Aspro might be the target here. Should have his Somersault Cloud to get out, but will he be able to get it off in time? He won't! Yada picks up Aspro and in comes Strive, who hits 4 members, but it's too little too late, and the solo landed from Noxide will fall down. Could possibly be destined to fall down as well, but DarkSided setting their attention back to the speed buff. Endless though, very low here. Beast chasing him down. Just one tail whip will do it, but a Sacred Monkey from Liquid Renegade is what will claim the kill. The mid laner on Noxide. Liquid Renegade will pay for his sins by falling down there to Destinate. Shank though diving tower, redeems his teammate, and finds Destinate.
That bear is still terrifying. Took 4 tower shots there from a tier 2 and barely looked like it took any poke. Yada here gets taken low by the major look. Strive manages to dodge the pluck there. Should be able to get away now that the Beast is out of mana. But a good response there, the Sonic Boom. Trying to peel for Abspro, unable to get up into the cloud. But great work there out of DarkSided, but at least Noxide got a kill out of it and didn't let it completely go for free.
Yeah, exactly right there. A little bit more responsive this game than we saw him in the last one. It has been kind of off the back of Strive, who unfortunately though does find himself behind Liquid Renegade. Liquid Renegade though has played exceptionally well today for DarkSided and been the driving force I think behind a lot of DarkSided moves. But yeah, Strive, when he's hit those Sonic Boom ultimates, has basically turned the fight in those instances in Noxide's favor. Unfortunately, there are kind of other circumstances around it, you know, being Abspro falling down early, or the rest of his team just not being in position has meant that, you know, while they've got some limited success, but they haven't really, you know, won a major team fight. And Abspro going to fall down again despite being able to get up into his ultimate. Shank just too powerful on this bear in combination with Liquid Renegade. The right hand side tier 1 tower is a target now for DarkSide, and they should be able to take this one pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Abspro was thinking there, dropping back down into the 2 of them and the minion wave. He healed back up to full and was immediately burst back down again. So great rotation there out of Liquid Renegade. As you said, playing fantastically. And, you know, the importance of the jungle, while, you know, Double Warrior might not be completely meta still, it's still around, but you can see the potency of Liquid Renegade on this Hunbats, really driving forward and making sure that his team stays ahead and gets off these plucks and picks and that kind of thing, and didn't even have to use his Fear No Evil, so that's still available for the next team fight.
Yeah, Liquid Renegade, his kind of style of jungling is definitely more the control jungle than the carry jungle. You know, he loves his Odins, loves his Warriors, his Guardians, Thor as well. Rather than some other junglers who prefer the very much kind of hard carry assassin-y types like Serket and things like that. Liquid Renegade is all about supporting his team and giving his team the opportunity to win the fights, putting them in a position to win the fights.
And Noxide, though, looking to start up this ball game, and Liquid Renegade and the Beast here, as well as Yada to contest. Blink forward here, Fear No Evil on the mark, they managed to pick that up. Beast gets Abspro there before he can get up into the cloud. Take it very low, looking to pluck forward.
Oh, Strive.
Misses there, and that's pretty much the fight wash.
Oh, split push coming in here with the Across the Skies, gets the Mez off, and a basic attack will pick up the Beast, but he might pay here. He's going to back away from Shank at this point, but Shank's going in with the bear, double swipes there, and now it looks like Strive's trying to focus on this bear, but it's not going to happen here. Shank will end in the end pick up split push. Endless and Strive need to get away here, but Shank just chasing them down under the tower. You can't get away from the bear. You can't get away from the lady in the kilt as Endless falls down. Triple kill for Shank. And almost a complete wash there for DarkSide, for Noxide, I should say, as DarkSide completely wiped the floor with it.
Yeah, I said the fight was just about wash there. I expected it to be, and I think Split Push kind of baited his team back in. They get the one pick up there in their favor onto, I think it was the Beast that ended up falling down. But at what cost? They end up losing another 3 members, and Destinate could fall here in the mid lane as well, trying to clear up that wave. Will fall down to Agony in the end, and it's just, you know, Noxide, they were looking so strong in those fights, and then they just make the one bad call a bit too aggressive. They're going to lose the Pole Demon, they're going to lose Gold Fury, and they're going to lose a bunch of members, and now, all of a sudden, what was a pretty close game is starting to swing out of their control.
It's completely swung out of their control. 9,800 experience in lead is DarkSided, almost 5,000 gold. The only thing really redeeming Noxide there is the fact that they took the first gold Fury. But yeah, I agree with you 100%, Moose. You know, split push diving in there pretty much completely unnecessarily. And after so many of his team's ults have been blown as well, Endless had used his ult to try and secure the Portal Demon. The Terra's Blessing was used as well. Excuse me, really kind of unnecessary continuation of the fight there from Noxide. And, you know, DarkSided hadn't really expended all that much onto the Portal Demon. They could afford to keep fighting. And, you know, when you have an RDO on your team as well, I mean, unless you can pour about 3 ultimates into her, you just never want to fight that bear.
Yeah, not to mention, you know, we said Sonic Boom was whiffed, and once that happens, we've been talking about how strong that Mercury ultimate is. It can turn teamfights, but if it's whiffed, then the teamfight's pretty much over. You just need to back off. You can't fight into them. You don't have the big AoE teamfight that DarkSided does.
And mid lane, I thought Yada and Beast were going to continue to push this, but it's going to be left-hand side. Agony getting caught out a little bit from split push and Destinate. He should be able to get away. Liquor Renegade's here, so this could be a bait here if Destinate doesn't know what's going on. Liquor Renegade not committing too hard to this one. Split push. Oh, goodbye, my friend. Goodbye.
Yeah, still 10 seconds left on Purification Beads there, and that's a free kill, and that's the power of Hornbutts, and we've talked about how strong Strives played on it. We've seen Liquid Renegade play it a couple times now, and showing that he too can show up, and in the meantime, Shanks 2v1ing in the mid lane on this pair.
And that leaves the rest of his team to be able to push down this left-hand side. Yada late to the party here over on the left-hand side, but it doesn't matter. Agony, Liquid Renegade, and the Beast will have enough damage to take down the Tier 1. Now they're heading towards the Tier 2 tower. Mid lane, Abspro's just there, sitting under his tower. Shank just going to keep the pressure on in this area. He doesn't need to really head over to the fight. The numbers are kind of equal between him and the enemy team. Abspro almost falls down there, but just barely able to get into the somersault cloud. Will have a rough time when he manages to jump down, because it's not really a safe location. He goes in, Strive goes in with the ultimate, only hits the Beast. Agony was missed, Final Judgment comes through, but Liquid Renegade zoning out 2 in the back. Yada will pick up Strive. Split push comes down from the across the skies, and he's caught between Shank and Liquid Renegade here, so he's in a really bad spot. Mesmerize comes through, and Liquid Renegade jumps over the top of all Split Push's damage. Here's Yada, here's the Beast. Aegis is down on Split Push, so much damage coming through the side of DarkSided, and Shank on this bear just chasing down Split Push, forcing away from the Tier 2 tower. Fear No Evil comes out from Liquid Renegade, Endless force to pop the beads, but the Beast will pick up Destiny.
Endless managed to get a kill onto Yada there in return, caught overextending a little bit, but just, again, Noxide are just all over the place. They're trying to wombo combo, I guess, with a dunk out of the cloud with a Sonic Boom, but what do you actually get out of that? If you manage to pick up the Beast in the back, or maybe Agony, I guess, who wasn't that low, it's not enough for me. I think you just need to know when the fight's lost and back off, defend under your Tier 2.
Yeah, 100%. It was just a missed call there from Noxide. I think they're just desperately trying to find any way back into this game, find any way to stop this rampaging bear, but so far they have had no answers for what Shank has been doing on this RDO. Portal Demon is going to be coming up very shortly. This looks to be DarkSide's next target. However, they are very low on health or mana, so Noxide could potentially catch them out, overstaying their welcome here.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to take, is DarkSide staying too long, and Noxide maybe getting a wipe and a Fire Giant, and maybe get some of these objectives off the map, take to the towers. And if they keep going the way they do, where they just keep trying to force things to happen, it's just not going to end well for them, and you'll see DarkSide take this 2-0 pretty comfortably, I think. But Portal Demon now started up, Yada catches out Endless, and Sonic Boom being charged as well.
I think DarkSide is just trying to bait the fight here. They know that they have the advantage at this point, being ahead 10,000 experience and 6,000 gold as they are. Abspro's clone's going to go in there, not going to be able to do too much, but he gets caught out by Agony with a perfectly placed Bramble Blast, and down falls the solo laner for Noxide, so DarkSide can just return their gaze back to this Portal Demon. Shank doing an excellent job of zoning out Noxide. Down goes the Portal Demon. Strives in the mid lane here. He's getting chased down by the Beast, but he's a very fast Mercury. He should be able to get away. Split push, doing as his name suggests, split pushing. Shank picks up Endless in a 2v1 fight. Not really much Destinate could do there to save his mid laner.
There's not much you can do to get anyone free of this RDO at this point. Especially when she has this AoE cripple, the root, it's just disgusting, not to mention the stun on top of that, and just a whole bunch of damage. And now tier 2 falls in the mid lane. Strive and Destinate here trying to defend as long as they can. Abspro is back as well. Split push will get a tier 2 yet again, as he said, living up to his name, but I don't think it's going to be enough at this stage.
Cost of the Phoenix, Magic Shell pops, Shank with the Thorns as well. Great Phoenix Weevil there from Liquid Renegade will find Destinate as Agony gets credit for the kill. Yada will pick up Strive. Abspro forced to Eagle Form back away to his Titan. So push across the skies. Who's he looking for here? Is he just trying to get safely back into base? Or is he looking to go in? I think he's looking to go in. He's just circling in the sky trying to find a target. I don't think he's seriously looking to go on anyone because his team is not in position. Left-hand side tier 2 tower is the target here. The surrender vote is started up by Noxide.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes through. I mean, they've still got so much to fight for, but in this game it just seems so hopeless. Endless just gets absolutely demolished there by Agony, and Shank able to lock him down. Abspro now the focus, and he'll get up into the cloud, but for how long?
Agony, great Aegis there saves it from Abspro's damage to Tiger Form though, along with the basic attack will be enough to claim the kill. Shank 1v4, this is the ultimate test of his abilities and of how broken Ardio is. Can he 1v4, transforms into the bear, gets the massive stun off, good mez there for split push, but Shank still running away, avoiding most of the attacks. Abspro though, along with Destiny and the rest of Noxide, finally lock down the bear and give Shank the first death of the game, and then Noxide will F6. They had to make sure they took down the bear at least once.
Well, I think what happened is that they killed the bear, and that's impossible, so the game automatically gave the victory to DarkSided. But great job there from DarkSided. They take the 2-0. They'll be going to LAN. Congratulations to that roster. They've worked pretty hard this split, and it's starting to look like the team that they should be performing as. Always a strong team on paper, but looking a lot stronger as a roster themselves.
Yeah, excellent work from DarkSided. Congratulations for being our first team locked in for the Smite OCE Regionals at PAX Australia down in Melbourne. That's going to do it for our first set. We're going to take a short break and be back with our next set, which I believe is Legacy Esports up against Sim Gaming.